it is the Lawn Gnome, and welcome to your August 2019 episode of Out of the Vault. If you're new to my channel, just let me say welcome. It is a pleasure to have you. And for all of you returning, I'm sure you're excited to discuss another wonderful film from the Disney/Pixar/Ghibli library. And we've got a very interesting one, and also one that's making me a little bit sad, because it's reminding me how many classics I have already reviewed and how many classics I have left to go. It's also the 80th episode of Out of the Vault, guys. Can you believe it? I am just so amazed that this show has lasted for as long as it has on my channel, and the fan base that I have developed, and everything that has actually come out of this little segment in which I just decided that as much as I love reviewing movies, I feel that Disney needs to be put in a different section all on its own, and I am just one step closer to being that Disney completionist that I've always wanted to be in regards to the canon classics. So today we're going to be talking about the 8th Disney animated classic from 1946, Make Mine Music. It is also the time that we were recovering from World War II, and Disney was still on a low budget, and the other thing that was really fresh in Disney's mind was Fantasia, which was made 6 years prior, and he was always trying to find a way to continue that wonderful blend of music and animation. And with Make Mine Music, we get a more modern take on music, especially when it comes to some of the famous singers that are in this film, including Dinah Shore, the Andrews Sisters, as well as the musical genius of the legendary Benny Goodman. We get some really good segments in this film. And some of them are things that you may have already seen thanks to Disney specials that were on network television. One of the most well-known is the animated version of Peter and the Wolf from Disney, and this one is definitely one of my personal favorites. When I learned about Peter and the Wolf in school, and I knew that there was a Disney animated short, just seeing the music that I learned in music class in grade school and seeing it come to life with the animation, not to mention the incredible narration from Sterling Holloway, a true Disney staple. You know him as the voice of Winnie the Pooh, the original, as well as some other great legendary Disney characters. But there also are a whole bunch of things that I never actually saw on film, but knew about in the world of Disney. There are also a couple of things that really remind me of Fantasia, and as well as Fantasia 2000. There is a great segment called All the Cats Join In, which is all about a pencil sketching characters that look like kids from a 50s sock hop, just enjoying a night out with their friends on a Saturday night. It is just so cool to watch, and it reminded me a great deal of Rhapsody in Blue from Fantasia 2000. There also is a very cute segment called The Story of Johnny Fedora and Alice Bluebonnet, which is the story of two little hats falling in love, getting separated, finding each other again. That is definitely something that reminded me of the Pixar short, The Blue Umbrella, even the Disney animated short Paperman. The whole concept of two people, whether they are actual people or inanimate objects, making connections, getting separated, finding each other again, just really cute, not to mention the great song from the Andrews Sisters. We also have Casey at the Bat, the Martins and the Coys, and if I'm not mistaken, the Martins and the Coys is actually the segment of this movie that was banned, I believe. You don't actually see it on the recent DVD that came out a couple years back. I might be wrong, but I have heard that that is a very politically incorrect short that is not necessarily shown to kids anymore in regards to this Disney classic. And I really didn't see it until the very end, but it's not that I didn't see the events that happen in the end of that short on Chuck Jones Looney Tunes or Walter Lantz Woody Woodpecker cartoons. This was something that I was so familiar with as a kid and never really took anything negative away from it, but, you know, something that's just the world that we're living in right now. The animation, of course, is not as grand, especially if you compare it to the movies that we get today, but for the time that it was, especially with the budget that it had, it was definitely very good. As well as the opera singing whale at the very end, and that was a short that really surprised me. I mean, I loved the fact that they harped on the great classical music as well as some of the more recent hits of the time, but the way that that sketch ended was a shock to me. I couldn't believe that Disney actually went in that direction and we got what we got. You just gotta see this one to believe it. But if there's anything negative that I can say about this movie is that along with these great shorts, which are the longer ones, there's also some shorter ones, but they are pretty much forgettable. So forgettable that I can't even tell you what they are. But that just shows you that they were not the true driving forces of Make Mine Music. It was really the longer shorts that were the ones that kids were going to enjoy, adults were going to enjoy, and of course a lot of people were going to remember as true Disney animation staples. I would definitely say that if you also want to be a Disney completionist, you should definitely check this one out. If you've seen Melody Time and Fantasia, it definitely falls into that category, but it is definitely not one of the stronger Disney films, but out of all of the package films or the segment films that were made in the 1940s before we got Cinderella in 1950, I think that this was the strongest of the bunch if you're not counting Fantasia. It is definitely one that I wouldn't actually mind seeing again, and it's not necessarily one that I want to have on DVD, but ever since I started this project, I actually do have a digital copy of Fun and Fancy Free, Melody Time, and Make Mine Music. I definitely think that I should do the same with The Three Caballeros and Saludos Amigos, but that will definitely be somewhere down the line because I feel that these are going to end up being the true forgotten classics, and every single Disney film really should be praised, especially when it comes to Disney canon. So, yeah, Make Mine Music was definitely an enjoyable film, but it definitely wasn't the strongest. Even with its dead spots for me, I still had a really good time with it. So I'm going to give Make Mine Music 3 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Make Mine Music, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.